We have a route and we have a plan. And everyone in government has the all-consuming pressure and challenge to save lives, restore livelihoods, and gradually restore the freedoms
Not this week.
that we need. But in the end, this is a plan that everyone must make work. And when I look at what...
To say that you can't mingle in the park, but it's safe to go back to work and maybe work within 2 metres of one another, it is ridiculous.
Windy. Right, good. Great disturbances in the force. Didn't sleep well at all. Boris Johnson. Right, good. Nothing changes. Still where we were. Back still hurts. Not as bad as it was. Epoxy. Again. Yeah.
Okay, so I need to speak up. I found out last week I think it would have been useful to have a bit more of a look at the situation that was facing me at the beginning of last week as to how the progress went. So I'm moving into the bow here. It's quite exciting actually to imagine, you know, that this is the pointy end of an actual boat. You know, to imagine crashing into absolutely enormous waves, having crashing over the front. You know, this is the forces and the waterproofness and the condition and the knowledge to do with all of these pieces here. You know, this is the Samson post that sticks up, that is what we moor the boat to. It's we've got anchors attached here, anchors attached to the front part. This is all a very significant amount of stuff will be going on here when we go back in the water. It's worth taking a little bit of time to look at it, I think. It's quite tight in here. It's one of the consequences of having such a small boat, is it's really very tight to work in. It's not a huge amount to discuss really, but we've got these points where this is where the attachment points for the rub rails were, and we'll see those all the way around. And what I want to do with those is maintain the hull but stabilise. So you can see you've got the hull and the deck, and then it's covered with a tape of glass fibre there. Is maintain the hull but flatten it and fill it and stabilise it to the extent that it can be painted over, and then we can re-drill it and then have a washer on this side and have a, I don't know, my idea is to have a bolt through with a loop on the outside whereby a rope, a thick rope, can be attached on the outside and acts as a rub rail. It's much more spongy than a piece of wood. I don't like the piece of wood idea, even though it's quite strong to have that around the boat. I recognise that. We could very well have some attachment points for the bowsprit here. So that would be a pole sticking out the front of the boat to take the bottom of a spinnaker or to take an additional forestay, and that would require stabilising, because you attach a sail to it, pulling in that direction. It needs to be braced downwards, stop it bowing upwards. So we'll have an attachment point somewhere here, somewhere above the waterline, but not somewhere above the waterline, but as far down as possible to give it the maximum strength, and then stop it as though wandering sideways. There are whiskers either side, so some bobstay and whiskers will also sort of appear in here somewhere. I mean, they don't have to be massive because it's such a small boat. And while we're looking at that, it's all just repairs really throughout, but I think it is worth looking at the chain plates and what I have done with them now is There's only one. Well, they were small washers. There's a washer remaining on this side, so it's probably better to have a look over here. Is got a hole. This is where the rigging attaches to, so the metal wires that hold up the support the top of the mast, stop it waving around. So these are very significant parts of the boat. So they were just these small washers. This is a piece of plywood stuck on the side of the boat, and then with a piece of glass fibre stuck over the top of it, drilled through with a small washer, and then these had a small bolt, and then that bolt was enclosed in glass fibre, and it was just like a little lump, like these little lumps are for the that's the hull deck joint there. And what to do with these? And I think I'm taking a similar approach, because it's not a very, it's only a very small surface area that fixing has got, no matter for this big piece of board, and the glass fibre that's over the top of it. The bit that's doing the work, and as well as it being rusty, it's not brass and it's not stainless steel. You can see it's been rusted up there. Is to do the same as where I've taken the fixings for the. Here's one I finished, and that is just filled in, and then with a piece of glass fibre over the top of it. So just to level this up, stabilise it across with a new piece of glass fibre, re-drill it, and then have a much larger washer, stainless steel, on the inside there for the chain plates, and then all around for all of the rub rail fixings. And then I want to use each of those so that they can be used for rigging. So the ones further back, because one of the things I have done is taken the tracks, the jib track, whatever you would call that, I've taken that off, with the idea being that I only actually will probably be sailing with a reefing Genoa, which you fly off the winch in any case, and if I do have hang-on jibs, that I can actually fly those off these attachment points that were used for fixing the rub rail on, and have just little flying bits of rigging for that, and just attach them on ad hoc as we go. So that's my thought on that. That's what we're going to be doing this week. I may get to other things, but those are the things, just to stabilise all these holes all around, so we've just got some sensible attachment points for the future. And we don't have to keep on grinding into the sunset. That's all we ever do. Right, good. That's it. Week 8. Good.
Okay, I've had another think about this, and my conclusion is this, that the position of the holes that used to hold on the rub rail they're so close to the edge of where the deck is that you can't, I don't think, get a decent, fixing in there. If you want to get a washer around it, there's no space for the washer. If I want to get a new fixing in there for the new rub rail rope rigging attachment points that I want around the boat in the future, So to think of using the holes that exist again as a means of, I don't know, saving time or effort or something, I think it's futile. I think it is futile. So in fact, I'm just going to fill all of the holes in all around the deck, and I will have filled basically every hole on the whole boat apart from where the pulpit is at the front. But that's good. Okay, so then we'll just have the boat with no holes, and then get some paint on it. I'd really want to get some paint on. You know, as much as I've got this new epoxy work covered in plastic, it's yellowing, and I'm not very happy that it is yellowing. It wants to get finished off and painted, and then I can stop worrying about it, and then we can put new work on top of new paint, and then start fixing things through. And that's the proper order: is get sorted, get painted, and then fit out. It's the way you do it in a shipyard. When you launch a ship, she's painted, and then you fit her out, and then you put a top coat on. Yeah. Well, this is the world has started up again, mate. It is. Traffic is busier today. Well, things didn't turn out like I thought they were going to do. I certainly, lined up like a good British person to hear the Prime Minister on Sunday night, and I thought it was really quite clear. You can go out for exercise more than you could do, but you can even play sport, but it's only for members of your own household. So I was like, well, I don't have a household. So I still can't meet anybody. Hence, yesterday morning's and whether they change their minds overnight or what, but it turned out yesterday that single people can meet other single people from other households outside, and people can go back to work. Well, I don't go to work, but I can see my friends. I actually can, even though he said we couldn't, but we can. So, is that like the end of lockdown? I think it might be the end of lockdown. I mean, yay! I can go back from being enforced self-isolation to standard routine self-isolation, which I would normally adopt in any case. And so I still haven't seen anybody, but it's only because I'm busy. Is that the end of lockdown? I think it's the end of lockdown, basically. So,
Happen me, introduce boys, girls, girls, boys, girls, girls, boys. Always should be someone you really love.
2 meters.
Yeah,
2 meters.
turn it.
2 meters. Easily 2 meters, that is.